First game of bolt action for some time over the Christmas period. Playing Colin today, and it's a practice game for Cambs Bridge Too Far, which we're going to in March. It's 1,000 points, and you play one of three scenarios. Last year it was meeting engagement, point defence and key position. So we're going to do point defence today. I've got the Italians. I've rolled up 2 defensive walls. I'm defending. I've got the 3 points of objectives there. You can see 1, 2, 3 as it runs down the line, and then we've got a bit of jungle terrain as we go through. Today I'm taking the Italians, 1,000 points, and we've got a second lieutenant, sniper team, medium mortar, medium howitzer, both with spotters, armoured car, which is the L640, the Semavent medium anti-tank gun, a inexperienced colonial unit, then a regular Italian unit, a Bersaglieri unit, which is veterans, and a small unit of paratroopers, again veteran, and that runs up 1,000 points. So Colin has taken his Australian, some odd Australian unit from, when was it? What's it called?
About 42, 43, but I'll run through it if you like.
We'll run through it, yeah. It's quite an interesting one. It's out of the NewGuinea campaign book. So very interesting.
Well, I'm trying something different. I've got a lot of painting to do over Christmas. Obviously, we bought this. We've got an Australian, mainly Burma, that sort of area, 1942, when they the only vehicle they seemed to use as a tank was the Matilda. So we've got a tank platoon. Big advantage with the tank platoon with the Australians, you don't need to have transports, which gives you a lot more points to spend on other things. So the vehicles, as I say, all Matildas, but with different variants, just interchangeable guns. We have the Matilda Frog flamethrower, range of 12, really good. Then I've got the one in the middle is a 2-pounder light anti-tank gun. And then on the other side is a light howitzer. They've all got 9 on the front, riveted hulls, which makes them vulnerable, and they're slow. But other than that, ideal for jungle warfare. Don't know about open tank warfare, it's a different thing altogether. I then have got an interesting unit down the front here, which is the Papuan natives, which had native fieldcraft. Which means in the first turn they could move through rough terrain as if it wasn't there, which is very handy. Also they set up like snipers and obviously spotters, so I can set them up in the first turn. They set up hidden. They can also be set up hidden and in ambush, which is good and bad, depends how we look at it, depends how it works. I've then got a patrol unit here, which also set up in the same way as snipers. All veterans, all with submachine guns, so an interesting little forward unit. The sniper, obviously, is regular sniper. I'm running out of points here. They are obviously set up as normal snipers. The other 2 units, infantry units, are one is just a jungle infantry unit. I say just, it's got 4 submachine guns and a light machine gun in it. The unit at the back are engineers, and the main thing with those is you can put a flamethrower in with them. They've got a flamethrower and light machine gun and 2 submachine guns. Piet team, obviously that's about the only main anti-tank weapon they have other than the flamethrower, but the minimum range is a problem, so that's the thing. So that's the main thing with the Australians is this advantage with the tank platoon and not having transport. The other thing, if they are charged in combat, they become tough fighter, only when they are charged, assaulted. We don't get the bombardment, the free bombardment the British get, but other than that, interesting little units.
Yeah, different.
So we'll see how they go, as we haven't really used them very much at all yet.
Yep, different. Right, let's get on. My plan for this game was to try and keep 2 objectives with the troops that I had, so that would give me a 2-1 win in the scenario. The defensive walls give a little bit of help to protect the troops that are in them, so I put 1 unit into the centre, and that was to hide behind the foliage. and to keep that objective there. At the far end, I loaded that one quite heavily with the artillery piece, the colonial troops to the right, and the officers when they came on. So that gave them a little bit of a chance. The bottom left, I put in a unit of regular Italians with the mortar team and the observer from the artillery piece. Oh yeah, and there was another observer for the mortar up at the top objective. I kept off the parachutists. It's only a small unit of 6, but they're all armed with submachine guns, so they can come on and do quite a bit of damage. So I went for those as my reserve to come on and help out. I initially kept off the officers. That was just really to give me some scope really to protect and to help bring in and keep hold of an objective, because in this game, to capture an objective you have to have somebody there and no other enemy within 3 inches of them. So once they've hold it, they are holding it. To capture it back, you would have to kill the unit that are on it, and there'd be nobody else within that 3-inch area to cause problems. So once you hold an objective, it's quite hard to get rid of it. Just contesting won't do it. So I kept the Semavent off and the L640 little tank. And that was it really. My aim was to try and kill units, but to try and use my reserve to save either of the edge objectives that came under pressure. Because I know Colin was going to put units on outflank, and he did actually put the Matilda with the flamethrower and a unit of Australians on flank with submachine guns, a flamethrower and a light machine gun. So quite a really pokey unit. So that was what my theory was, and let's get into the game. Okay, so we're setting up, and I've put a unit of Italian infantry in the mortar and the medium gun spotter in this redoubt. Got the unit of Bersaglieri in the middle by the objective, and we've got the medium howitzer next to the other objective, and then the colonials in the wood. Moving on to the Australians, because they've got a forward deployment as well. Oh yeah, forgot to mention the sniper who's at the front of the woods there. So Colin's put his sniper in the little radio shack, and the Papua New Guinea natives in the brush. The scout team, or whatever they are, officer and his mates.
Officer and his mates.
Officers and his mates. I think that's it. 3 units up on the table.
3 units.
2 outflanking, and the rest to come on as the first wave.
Yep.
Is it first wave?
Yep.
Okie doke. So we'll move into turn 1. A preliminary bombardment has come on, and 1 pin to the colonials, 2 pins to the artillery piece, 1 to the mortar spotter, 1 to the sniper, and 1 to the Bersaglieri, 2 to the infantry unit, missed the artillery spotter, and 1 to the mortar team. So not too bad, got off of that fairly lightly. So we're going to go on to turn 1 and pull out the first dice. So, end of turn 1, and what have we done so far? The Matilda with the light howitzer came on and took a shot at the artillery piece, so lobbed it over there, so it needs a 5 this coming turn 2 to hit. The Papua moved forward. I had put the colonials on ambush, and they managed to take a shot and kill one of the Papua New Guineas and put on a pin. Could have done a little bit better, but there we go. The Italian sniper took out the Australian sniper first turn up. I got the first dice, so that was quite good. The flamethrower frog has come on.
No, that's the 2-pounder.
Oh, is that 2-pounder? That's the anti-tank one that's come on, and took a shot at the sniper but missed. The little infantry unit in the middle, I took a shot at with the Bursalagi, and Colin put them into down to save them, which was probably just as well, really, because I probably would have wiped them out with it. So they went down and couldn't run. The infantry squad at the back and the Piat team came on. They couldn't run because of the Italians' special rule in turn 1 when we were the defender, so they could only walk on. We rallied up the other infantry unit here and took a pop at the Matilda in the far corner with the mortar, but it was over 60 inches, so a fail in that respect. So moving into turn 2, and I think the Papua New Guineas will try and do a little bit of trouble on the colonial infantry on that far side. So let's see what's gonna come up this time. So end of turn 2, the L640 came on and took a pop at the Papua New Guineans. They went down. The light howitzer Matilda took a shot again at the medium tank gun and missed it, but he needs a 4 next turn, so it's getting very close. They're a bit worried. The medium howitzer, took a shot at the Matilda, hit it, but only put 1 pin on it. We've pinned again the Australian scout team. They went down. The Piat team went up as a response to me bringing on the Semavent. Semavent took a shot at the Matilda at the far end, needed a 6, rolled a 5, so didn't get that one. The Australian unit in the middle of, sort of on the left side, have moved up with the protection of the houses. Mortar took a shot at the Matilda in the middle with the 2-pound rated tank, and needs a 5 next turn, missed it this turn around. These are an ambush, just in case somebody comes on from the flank, which is possibly likely to do. On this far side, the Colonials has also gone on to ambush, and Colin took a shot with the 2-pounder at the L640, but missed, which was quite fortunate. So we move into turn 3, and outflanking units could come on from the side. I've got none, but Colin's got 2 units to come on as outflank. So, end of turn 3. So in turn 3, the Matilda in the middle has run up the centre. The 2 Piat team have run up the centre as well. The sniper failed to hit them, so they're trying to get and put pressure on my Semavent. Australians in the middle have moved into the middle to try and then put pressure on this objective on this side. The team in the middle rallied and lost 1 pin. On the far side, the Matilda came on to fry the Italian infantry, but missed, but didn't run out of fuel. Time's running a bit short. Collins moved on this infantry unit, probably a little bit turned too soon because of that, and they took a shot from the ambush Italians and lost 3 men, which was quite good shooting for mine on there. The Italians in the middle, did I put them down? Don't know what I did with them.
Ambush.
Ambush. Put them onto ambush.
Yeah.
That's better. Put them onto ambush. Semavent missed. The medium anti-tank gun took a shot and missed, didn't it?
Yeah, the Matilda down there, the howitzer one, wasn't it?
No, it took a shot in the middle one, didn't it?
Did it? Well,
yeah.
I thought you had shot that one. No, you shot that one.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I took a shot in the middle one, but missed it.
Hey, you missed anyway.
Missed it anyway.
If you couldn't make up your mind.
Yeah, didn't do that. And the mortar lobbed into the middle, and needs a 5 to hit it next turn if it doesn't move. So I think the infantry unit there is going to get fried and toasted next turn. I would hazard a guess from that Matilda frog. So moving into turn 4. So right, end of turn 4 I think it was, possibly. Or 5.
Yeah.
Can't remember which one it is, I'll check it as we go through.
4.
4. And time is an issue, like it would be in the tournament I suppose. A little tank advanced up to take a crack at the Matilda on the side. Hit it, put a pin on it. Left that one. Don't think how much I can do to that. The Papua New Guineans run out and the unit on ambush rolled above average and took out nearly all of them, but they did pass their leadership test. Semavent didn't hit. The artillery gun put a couple of pins on and Colin rallied 2 pins off of the Matilda. The little squad here ran out to try and trigger my ambush on the Bursalagis, but I didn't. Sniper team that I had took a shot at them, but we found out that I was within 12, so it's a miss, automatic miss. Over on this side, the Matilda fried the troops, got rid of the Italians who failed their leadership test and went. The remaining Australians run up to the wall. I brought on my parachutists from reserve and managed to kill 2 of the Australians, but they passed their leadership test. So I've had to run up the mortar team to contest the objective. So that's contested and not captured. In the centre, the Australians came out to put pressure on the centre, but again I rolled above average for the Bursula G, who were on ambush. Forced the Australians to take a leadership test, and they needed an 8 to pass it, but rolled a 9 and lost it, which was a bit of a shame. So yeah, moving into turn 5. Well, we called it at that stage. We looked at what we had left, and Collins' infantry couldn't capture any of the objectives. The really good dice rolling I had for firing in the centre and on the other Australian unit really blunted his attack. What I really think was the key blow was when he advanced his Matilda on turn 3 and took a shot at the infantry in the redoubt on that left flank. Yeah, it was within 12 inches and he got a hit, but only managed to kill 1 person, I think it was, and I passed my morale test. Really, it should have wiped them out, but his dice roll was absolutely abysmal, so they survived. And then he forgot about the parachutists on the in reserve, and they came on and took out half of the Australian unit. So yeah, trouble there for him, trying to get the Italians out of the redoubts. My strategy that I looked at, yeah, so it seemed to work, even though perhaps it was a little fortuitous with the dice rolls. But hey, that's bolt action as we know it, and I'll take the win. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hoping that Colin will get these Australians painted up as soon as he can. Shouldn't take him too long. It's a very nice looking little force, and quite a different type of force, with the ability to take those 3 tanks and the infantry. So look forward to seeing it painted up. So we'll probably get some more practice games in for a Cambs Bridge Too Far, which is coming up in early March, and we'll see what games we can get running. So thanks very much for watching. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends if you think they would like it. So thanks very much once again for watching, and we'll see you soon. Coming up to nearly 400 subscribers now, which is really, really good news. I think what we'll have to do is look for, as people do, a prize giving, but I think we might do that at 500 subscribers. So I'll have to have a look and see what I might have for that. Anyway, keep watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks very much.